So tonight we're going to be checking out Coach Blue, which is their newest release from their Coach line of fragrances. Of course, we have the original Coach, we have Coach Platinum, and this being the newest release from the line. We're going to go ahead and check this one out today. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and ultimately, if I think it's worth picking up. Another blue fragrance, both the bottle and in the name of the scent itself, so it'll be curious to dive into this one and see if we've got something new and exciting and it's going to be the best new summer fragrance, or if it's going to be kind of disappointing, or maybe it'll fall somewhere in between. Let's go and jump into it. And I do want to point out that this one is available on discounters. That's where I got mine. I didn't pay retail for this one. I just didn't really have it in me to spend like $80 plus shipping and tax to get this one, because I kind of knew how it was going to be before I got it. So you can get it at a discounted price. I will leave it linked down below. That's where I got mine. That's what I'd recommend you do as well if you want to pick this one up. So let's start off with how this fragrance smells. When you first spray this one on, what you'll notice immediately is that it is a fresh, summery fragrance, right? Mainly you're getting some citrus here. What I get the most of is like a bergamot / lime accord going on. I think they got lime listed as one of the main top notes, and I do pick up on the lime. Also, again, a little bit of like a bergamot. After it settles down for a minute, what you'll notice is it has a very ozonic quality to it, like a very airy, light, transparent, wispy quality to it. It doesn't come across like it's super heavy and very focused on depth. It just has a very light, transparent, wispy type of smell. What I also noticed, after it kind of settles down, is that this one seems to be very heavy on aroma chemicals. There's something in here that I don't know if it's listed as a note. It's almost coming across as if something like either like a bit of like an ISO-E super, or like a hedione, or like a kind of a cashmerean type of note. I know they use cashmerean very heavily in Coach Platinum. I get something that is very aroma chemical heavy. And it's something that when you smell it, you can almost feel it in your nose. It's kind of weird. That may sound weird, but give this one a shot and you'll know what I'm saying. You can tell that this isn't really going to be composed of a lot of the natural ingredients, which you wouldn't expect anyway, but you can tell that it is using some of the aroma chemicals to kind of boost up the strength and kind of give it a bit more of a punch when you actually smell it. In the dry down, you do get a bit of amber and a bit of woods. It's a pretty generic dry down in terms of the amber and wood combination. It's nothing revolutionary here. It's just kind of your standard thing going on. With that, I also get like a musky type of overall feel, kind of like a fuzzy, musky smell. And again, I think that's coming from a lot of the aroma chemicals that are used in this scent. So now there's a couple things I want to go ahead and talk about right off the bat here. I want to be clear that, while this fragrance is named Coach Blue, and the bottle itself is somewhat of a blue gradient, I didn't bring out the box to show you that, for the whole presentation thing, because I feel like most of you probably don't care, but you can see it enough here on the bottle. This is blue. Bottle goes from like a bluish to clear gradient, and of course the name of it itself, Coach Blue. Your mind may immediately go to something like the original Coach, Prada Carbon, Dior Sauvage, Dylan Blue, Acqua Atlantique, all those blue brothers. You may start thinking of that, but I can tell you here with this one, it doesn't smell like those, which is kind of a good thing, right? I mean, it doesn't have the blast of ambroxan and aquaticness that those other fragrances, or most of them, kind of share. It doesn't have that ambroxan peppery thing going on, so that's a good thing. On the other hand, this is by no means something new. This is something that will most likely not surprise you and make you go, oh, that smells really good. At least coming from, the fragrance collector, the fragrance enthusiast standpoint. For me, when I first smelled it, my reaction was basically like this. I sprayed it and I smelled it and I just kind of went, yep, that's about it. My face didn't light up and I go, ooh, that smelled really good. But I also didn't turn away in disgust. I was just like, yeah, it's kind of what I was expecting. And that's kind of the reaction I got from this. And that's probably what most of you guys are going to react as well if you give this one a try. This was not made for us. You and I, us fragrance collectors and enthusiasts here, no, this Coach did not make that for us. They made it for people who don't really care about quality and uniqueness, and it's also made for women and just people in general to like the smell of. When I smelled it, I was just like, yeah, okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. When I had my girlfriend smell it, she said it smelled really, really good. I mean, she enjoyed it because it's engineered to do that. It's engineered to be, attention catching, and the fact that it kind of hits you in the face when you smell it. It is citrusy, it is bright, it's just very wispy and airy and just kind of floats through the air. So we'll go ahead and touch on performance here. Longevity, about 6 hours. Projection, a bit better than a skin scent. So it's not, a skin scent, obviously, but it's also not one that's really gonna occupy your space that much unless you go with, quite a few sprays. It will push out to, about here. Just kind of really stay within your personal bubble. So it'll be one where if you want it to project out and then, attract a bunch of attention from everywhere, you're going to have to spray a lot, but it stays a bit more moderate to where people are going to have to kind of get up in your personal space to smell you. And obviously with everything going on right now, that's not really a good idea. So, projection and performance overall is, it's okay. Eventually this fragrance is going to get cheaper than what it is now on discounters, and it kind of falls almost into the range where it's like, that's about what you'd expect for the price that it's eventually going to be. It's probably going to fall down into what, like the $30 range. I believe that's what Coach and Coach Platinum goes for, $35, something like that. It's going to eventually make it down to there, and for the performance that it has at that price, it's whatever. That's okay. The performance that this has at the retail price of like $80 plus shipping and tax is absolutely a no-go. No. This is not worth anywhere near that retail price. And again, I kind of knew that going into it, which is why I didn't buy it at retail. I waited it out. Now it's on discounters. Still think I paid like $50 maybe, I think is where it's floating around right now. That's better than $80, but it's still not worth really $50 unless you're really into the scent. I would say if you want to pick it up, you might be best just kind of waiting it out for a little while, letting the price go down even more on discounters, and do make sure you use the discount codes. I will put the link to this fragrance down below with the discount code if you want to pick it up now. But I would say, to kind of wrap this up here into the part where I tell you if I think it's worth purchasing, it's hard for me to recommend. It really is, because we have blue fragrances, enough of them. Even though this isn't really a blue fragrance in that regard, we have plenty of, super wearable fragrances. If I could recommend you another fragrance that I think would be worth getting than this one, I would say, honestly, one of the fragrances I've been enjoying lately, although it is going to be more expensive, is Acqua Profondo. Again, that one's going to be at discounter, so you can get it there. I don't know what it's going for. Maybe $100 or so, $90, $100 for a 4.2 ounce bottle. That's more expensive than this one by a pretty good margin, almost twice as expensive. So that's going to be one of those things where you may be thinking, why are you recommending me Profondo when it's so much more expensive than this? The simple reason is because Profondo is a new release as well, and I think it's one of the best new releases. They don't really smell anything alike, but it is kind of a blue scent, not ambroxan. It's a lot more minerally smelling, like minerals from the ocean. It's got a nice aquaticness, a bit of a citrusy thing, and what actually is kind of similar is it does have a bit of this ozonic, wispy, airy type of quality as well. Again, Profondo, like I just said, one of the best releases this year by far. And even though it is more expensive, instead of rushing out and buying this one, save up for another month or so if you're on a bit of a budget and get something like Profondo if you want to get into one of the new hot releases that's being talked about. Again, you can't go wrong with that one. You're going to like it better in terms of quality, performance, overall smell, and I think it'll be the better purchase. Until this one gets a bit cheaper on discounters, like in the $30 range, it's not really worth necessarily rushing out and picking up right now. Once it does get to that cheaper price point, hey, maybe it's worth tossing in your cart and having just to kind of complete your Coach collection. If you already have the original and platinum, you can have this one there too, used as a cheap gym beater scent or whatever. But as of right now, I would say, hey, save your pennies and grab something else. Best way to put it. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was my thoughts on the new Coach Blue. You know, I kind of knew this going into it, what it was going to be, but I still wanted to grab it and share my thoughts with you guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys have gotten your nose on it as well. And hey, maybe you disagree with me. Let me know down below. Maybe you agree with me. Let me know down below. I do appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you, you know, leaving a comment and liking the video and all that. Again, if you want to pick this one up, I will provide a link. I'll also provide a link to Acqua Profondo, which I think is the better purchase here, you know, if you want to get into a new aquatic. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night with another one. Take care.